In my last video, I talked about how one Academy manufacturer turns one treasure token into a clue, food, and a treasure, and having a second manufacturer would turn each of those into a clue, food, and a treasure. But hold on a minute, isn't this a new set of clue, food, and treasures that the first manufacturer can now apply to? Does this not just go infinite? In order to understand what's going on here, I think it would help to understand a little bit more about the mechanics of the game. A very common one being triggered abilities. Triggered abilities are kind of like how they sound. They're abilities that go off when a certain condition has been met. And you can tell they're triggered abilities by the words when, whenever, and at. Now this is important. If we don't see those words, it is not a triggered ability. Let's take a closer look at Academy Manufacturer. If you would create a clue, food, or treasure token, instead create one of each. Now remember I said if it doesn't have the words when, whenever, or at, it is not a triggered ability. So what is this effect? This is actually what we call a replacement effect. There are many different wordings for replacement effects, but we can tell that this one is one by the word instead. Replacement effects work very differently from triggered abilities. They can modify whole entire events, and they can only apply to the entire event once. But it's important to note that each modification they make doesn't create a new event. They're just modifying the current one. And then the next one can come in and make their own modifications. But we are still applying to the same event. So in this scenario, the event is the treasure token being created. The first one can make their modifications to this event, and then the second one comes in and makes its modification. But this is still the same event of a treasure token being created. Since each thing got to apply to this singular event, they don't try to apply to it again. So having multiple manufacturers does not go infinite.